It's 16 minutes after 7. Welcome to my banner here on the AM show. I was looking for a particular message that somebody sends that I love your banner topic. I'm going to pull that up because we're talking sex and love making. Okay, it's limited though, because if you're not a certain age and if you're not married, this conversation is not for you. You can listen and practice in the future. It's a disclaimer. Let me introduce to you, Mike. Okay, I didn't really mean that. Brother Ishmael Tete is a spiritual director of Etherian Mission, and Josephine Tete is a psychosocial therapist and a counselor. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. It's interesting you are talking about this subject, but there are a lot of people, a lot of religious people, a lot of people in the church who don't get a lot of information on sex and love. Is it too sinful to talk about it? Maybe Brother Ishmael?
Is it rather you are confirming that many religious leaders may just be hypocritical about it, because sex is very spiritual. Sex, the real place to discuss sex is in the spiritual arena. I recall in the early 70s or mid 70s when I first treated that topic in church. I treated it as a marriage, sex, and spiritual life. And many people were surprised. How could you talk about sex in the church? But through what means do we give birth to the saints in the world? And today we know that the family is a unit block of society. And if the family is disorganized, then the whole society is disorganized. And the problem starts mainly from the bedroom. All right, so we need to really give education when people understand what sex is, and there's a huge difference between sex and love making. Remember, the topic is conscious sex and love making for successful relationship. Because if you don't participate, many people have sex and they don't even participate in sex. They're just driven by their senses into sex instead of they making the conscious choice to enter into sex. And as we discussed, you will see how this even causes lots of marital issues, impotency, frigidity. All these are caused by people not consciously participating in sex. They are externally driven into sex. At the end of the day, they are no more in charge. If the external can influence you, they can also influence you negatively. Yeah? Yes.
Okay, so let me ask just for you. I mean, if you're conscious about what you're doing, I mean, what's the fun in that? Shouldn't it be, it should be something you do, not really thinking, because otherwise, what's the fun in it?
To indulge in sex, it's a whole act, right? And if you're in an act and you're not conscious as to what you're doing, sometimes you don't even know where you're being driven to. But relationships are supposed to be an act of two people coming together for purposes, right? And for what purpose are you in this engaging in that sex act? And therefore, if it is for a purpose, you need to be conscious of what purpose and for the reason why you are engaging in that. If it's for fun, you must be conscious of it being for fun. If it's for procreation, you need to be conscious that this act is for procreation, and therefore I want a child out of this. And if I want a child out of it, what environment do I need to set ourselves in this interaction to be able to get there?
All right, there's some kind of distortion. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the same subject. Please do stay with us. 21 minutes after 7, you're watching my banner, and this is the message I wanted to pull. Great lineup for today. BTW, you've made me run today. Wow. I had to go and search for banana this early morning to tune my voice for the singing. We've got a singing sort of competition coming up later this morning. Today, not today. Happy Valentine's Day to my sweetheart, Rosemary Nanajwa Apia. It's from my friend in Akosombo, MD Kwesi Ima, who is definitely tuned in. But we're talking conscious sex and love making. Brother Ishmael has got his seminar. We thought, let's tap into it. Let's get a few of the tips before the bigger seminar. So Brother Ishmael Tete and Josephine Tete, joining me for an early morning sex conversation. It's for adults only, by the way. So, just when I think I was asking if you're conscious, then how do you have fun when you are aware of what you're doing?
To indulge in anything, life is about being conscious of everything. We are driven into so many things and we are not conscious of. Relationships are for purposes, and to enter into sex with somebody, it's a kind of relationship. And therefore, if you indulging in sex, the first thing is, for what reason? Is it for fun? Are we to have fun? You need to be conscious so that if it's for fun, you can activate all your senses to help you attain the ultimate fun. If it's for procreation, right, you need to be conscious. This is for making a baby. So what environment, what setup, what do we need to put in place such that the baby that comes in would get the right environment right from the word go? Because the consciousness or the thought pattern you'd be having even in indulging in sex goes a long way to have its effect on the baby if you take seed in that very moment. So consciousness is a very key thing in everything we do, but we've lost it. We just are blown by the wind anyhow, and we do anything anytime.
And I see Brother Ishmael smiling.
Yes.
Did she hit on something?
Very important. We teach that every action or inaction you take starts from even where you were conceived, the environment within which you were conceived, the environment within which you were born, where you were raised, the schools you attended, the friends, the pastors, all this influence who and what you are. So she really hit it on the nail right there, that we need to be conscious of what you're doing. Conscious means you are aware. You know why you are doing what, because everything you are doing, you are initiating a cause, and causes have consequences. And sex has a spiritual consequence, social, psychological, physical, and financial consequences. So the question is, who must even engage in sex? Sex must be enjoyed by two mature and responsible people. So you don't just get up and say, oh, I'm being driven, I love you. And I love you means I'm in the heat. You know what?
Yeah.
Many times when people talk about love, I teach my youth to ask them. I teach my youth, the young girls, I tell them, when a young guy tells you, I love you, ask him, which of the I love yous? Because I love you could mean, oh, come and decorate me, you are just a picture, all right? You are just a flower. I love you could mean, your presence puts me on heat. And that means, you are just an animal. You know, animals, when they are in heat, they want to engage. So anybody who just engages because you are in heat, like the popular statement, you turn me on. You turn me on means you bring the animal in me. And anything done within that environment is animalistic. So it's no more human, it's no more you. That's why often you end and then you regret, why did I do it? Or sometimes, then when you are faced with the consequences, then you start backing out. And I didn't know it to become a baby. I didn't know this would happen. Because you're not consciously participating.
Yeah.
And moreover, many people don't know that by not participating consciously, you are externally influenced and controlled, and you'll be externally influenced and controlled negatively too. You know, I've had over 40 years of counseling and teaching. In the last 10 years, I've noticed systematic rise in the cases of impotency in counseling. So people come and I'm 35, I don't know what's happening to me, but these days I can't perform, I've just married. And we go through to realize that they've not really participated in conscious sex. Sometimes they start their sex life with fear. And you know, when you start your sex life with fear, for example, as you grow up, you come across situations, and if the woman you're going to marry, her voice sounds like something that gave you fear in your early sex. You know, your very early sex influenced your entire sex life. Right? So if there's fear starting with your youthful days when you were afraid of a mommy will see me, daddy will see me, so you were hiding, that is a mental picture. It's controlling your very sex act. Thereafter, you find some men going through premature ejaculation issues.
I'll ask you a classic question of schedules these days. Both parties can be really busy. and how do you make a conscious effort to have sex even with the busy schedule? But let me ask you, Josephine, will the church make it a lot more easier if they were talking about some of these issues?
Will the church make it a lot more easier in terms of...
Because we hear marriages breaking down a lot these days. These days I'm told that people are not afraid of divorce. I mean, if you go and it doesn't work for you, just back out. It's so easy.
Certainly, the church, would have made it a lot more easier if they were open enough to discuss issues concerning this. The topic is conscious sex and lovemaking for harmonious relationship. People indulge in relationship for so many reasons. Some reasons they are not even sure as to the reason why they have engaged in that relationship. Like Brother Ishmael said, they were just driven by their senses. You turn me on, so this is a reason for me to engage in a relationship with you. But what is the purpose for engaging in a relationship with you?
Would you be surprised to know that these days young girls and guys would say, sometimes it's not even the very young ones, it's all of us. I feel like it, you feel like it, let's get down. That's it.
It's happening.
That is the animal.
Yes. Just satisfying the sensationalism that arises in you when you meet somebody that turns you on. But for how long will this sensationalism last? For what reason? Is it for the moment that you feel aroused? And after that, what happens? You're engaging into somebody's life. Do you have the time? Do you have the space? Do you have the energy? Do you have the circumstance to relate with that person, for that matter, say, let's get it going? To what extent? So if the churches were in the know and are up with such issues, would guide their followers rightly as to what it takes to engage in a relationship and for purposeful relationship, and that would last a lifetime. But today, like you rightly said, let's get going, and they are moving. Within a matter of a year, there's no underlying factor for which we came together, and the relationships are breaking, and the pastors find themselves in trouble to mend or solve or to put back, and it is not working.
You see, what she's saying is this: I love you is not enough for a relationship. I love you can bring two or more people together, but I love you does not mean we must engage in a relationship. For us to engage in a relationship, we need to ask ourselves, like she said, do I have the time, energy, space, and circumstance to participate in your spiritual, social, psychological, physical, and financial life? If I don't have the time, energy, space, and circumstance to participate in your life, or the amount of time, energy, space, and circumstance I have to participate in your life, will determine whether the relationship must be an acquaintance, platonic, or must develop into marriage. But when we don't ask the needed questions because we have not been taught, then I love you and the animal hit on, you turn me on. Love at first sight, love at first smell. You know, people don't even know that we have love at first smell. The person passes by. If you are a sense, if you are sense of smell dominated, you know, we have 5 senses, and you may be dominated by one or more of these senses. If your sense of smell dominated,
somebody can love you because of that.
Yes. The person passes by. For somebody being made wrong decision in employing a staff because the young man came to the interview and was smelling good. So, all right, we make decisions based on our senses, and that is knowledge that is not commonly known. Because once we know it, it will determine where you should be in life. So, knowing where your available time, energy, space, and circumstance will determine whether it's an acquaintance relationship, platonic, or marriage, or even a business relationship. But anytime we are turned on, we're driven by the senses, and therefore you enter into a relationship that you should not be in. The result is that after a few days, a few weeks, that's not what I wanted. When you even go into a relationship, you don't ask yourself, who is this person? She looks good. He looks good. He's handsome, he's got money. But who walks in this body? You don't ask that question, do you?
But if you did ask, would you get a response?
You will, if you have been taught. You know, interestingly, the most important subject in life is relationship. From conception through birth till you die, and after death, you are bound to relate. But there's no systematic knowledge system on how to relate. Society expects that everybody will just know how to relate, and it just doesn't work that way. All confusions, conflicts in the world are caused by relationship, and there's no knowledge on it unless you come to Etherian mission. Oh, yes.
And he's saying, you coming to Etherian mission, there's a whole program, a course that will help you in identify who and what you're constituted of. That would help you also identify who, when you bring into your life, can support you, and you can also support that other person for purposeful relationship. All the key thing we are talking about is purposefulness, consciousness.
Sure. I'll ask you about Etherian mission, and how different you are. But I asked the question about with the busy schedules.
Okay.
When you're tired, you can't have conscious sex. You could sleep through it. But
Well,
how do you solve that problem?
we always think that love making is sex, and that's the confusion. When we differentiate between love making and sex, and during the workshop Saturday, participants will discover, by the way, it is free. Get free fee is free.
Sure.
You can contribute if you want to, but it's free.
Contribute in what way?
Financial support the program.
Oh, okay.
Innovation
I was thinking
support.
about something else
Yes.
because of what we're talking
Yes.
about.
So the program it's really amazing. Last year when we had it, the room was filled to the overflow. So we know this year is going to be that massive too. So when you discover the difference between sex and love making, you realize that you can enjoy your sexuality without even intercourse.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can enjoy it. And believe me, when you are tired and you start love making will massage who you are inside, and who you are outside becomes relaxed and healed and restored.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So busy schedules, how do you cope with sex?
Yeah.
We have professionals, the psychologist is speaking, the urologist is also speaking. Communication is a very key thing in relationship, right? And when you're that tired, you know the right manner in communicating with your partner. That alone is therapeutic enough. That can calm your nerves down in a busy day that you feel so tired.
In fact, people don't even know how to communicate with themselves. So when you are tired, what communications do you give to your emotional body and your mental body? You feel, so you have a feeling or emotional body. You think, so you have a thinking body. We know so much about our externals, but we never ask the question, who are you within?
That's right.
If everything starts with thinking, thoughts produce action. Repeated action will produce your attitude. Your attitude will produce your nature. Your nature will produce your destiny. There's no discipline on the mind. You need to know the anatomy of the mind. Then you will know that, oh, my body is tired. What massaging, what communication must I give to me? When you give yourself the right communication, then you will know even the communication to give to your partner.
Okay.
You dress up in the morning, go into work. Have you dressed your feelings? Have you dressed your thinking? So you need to know how to put on your mental garment. And there are simple processes. For example, you can start your morning by taking a crystal glass and begin to describe how wonderful the glass is, the craftsman that made it possible. The mind does not know difference between you are beautiful and I'm beautiful. All produce the same neuron changes in your body. So describe something that is beautiful. Start your day by bringing to mind the event in which you truly loved somebody, and it will be dressing your feeling. And similar programs will dress your thinking. So you go to work and you are bound to succeed. Besides being leader founder of Etherian Mission, I've run many businesses successfully. And I teach people how to take charge over their lives through taking charge over their minds.
So this is what I'm picking out of this. Instead of preparing somebody else for sex or love making, you can begin to prepare your own self.
Certainly.
Starts from you.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And you
So
must...
how do you get a person on, because what I don't like, and I've said it before, I think I really, really don't like it, that you receive a text message, you know, like a loving text message out of nothing, only because you want it tonight. Okay. So that's your way of preparing me. I don't like it. I mean, if you want to show love via text or WhatsApp, do it every day. That's
not
me.
Not the day you want it. And
I don't like the occasional stuff. So how do you prepare somebody like me who doesn't like to be prepared in those ways?
You know, then I will look at you and something tells me that one of your dominant senses is likely to be hearing. Right? When you studied Essential Life Education, our master program, and by the way, Essential Life Education, interestingly, is in the big university in Malawi, not in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
And that program was developed in Ghana. And as I'm speaking, now first it was in the College of Science, Allied Science and Medicine in the University of Malawi. And from this year, it's now going to be taken by the whole university. And there's not one school in Ghana. And believe me, last year there was a conference with all psychologists and psychiatrists in Ghana. And Dr. Chiwoza in Malawi presented a paper on Essential Life Education that was developed in Ghana, in Legon.
Interesting.
Essential Life Education mainly teaches you why you and others are the way you are and do the things you do.
Okay.
So if you want a situation where you need a long chain of preparation, not on the spot today, I want to have you and therefore I'm preparing just for today. That program alone teaches you that this person is this nature, has this nature, and therefore I relate with her on this long-term basis, and having known what you're constituted of, knows the buttons to push, and it makes it flexible for you to know who to relate with, how to get whatever you want from the people, because you know them from the inside and what they are constituted of.
Okay.
And it makes it simple, relationship
And
made
if
simpler.
you are writing something for her to read and she's a hearing person, you are checking her hair out.
You would even voice over something that she hears it, and it goes right into stimulating what she truly is.
You buy your wife a brand new Mercedes Benz and she's very happy. 2 weeks after, she asks you, darling, do you love me? What will you say? Ungrateful woman. Because if she's a hearing person, in addition to the Mercedes Benz, you have to tell her constantly, I love you.
Yeah.
She wants to hear. She doesn't want to see only. So if you don't know the buttons, then it's like a Greek communicating with a gun. You see, you are miscommunicating.
Doing all you're doing, making all the effort, but you're pushing the wrong buttons.
And all this come into conscious sex, you see. So you don't understand why we say conscious sex.
Yes,
you must know the buttons of your partner, the senses your partner operates in. Then you know what to say, where to say. Those who are not hearing, some are just touch. So you must do that. So my partner is a touch person. So if I want to start, let me start by stroking her this morning, and so on. And there are many other ways. And there are words that stimulate touch. There are words that have got pictorial value. There are words that have got hearing or tactile values. And these are things that are not commonly known to the world.
Okay, I'm getting some WhatsApp messages related definitely to the subject. Hi, Mama, we sex be, but should not be fun. We date for a purpose. If not, the enjoyment will lead you to sin. I'm Daniel Blay from Dunkwa on a thing, sending me that WhatsApp message. This one says, good morning to you. I'm still confused about the relationship between lovemaking and Valentine. Love and Valentine connote sex, love, or humanity love, from Yakubu Abdullah in Thailand. Can you help us? We haven't talked Valentine yet, but Valentine is, some people say condoms run out and all. So a lot of people are engaging in sex on Valentine's Day. That is how it has become now. How do we get out of it? Because I don't want to ask, how did we get here?
Well, we can get out of it by now educating the public on conscious sex and lovemaking. First, Valentine has been overblown. I mean, the media, we are all just talking about it.
But love is good. I mean, if I say love, I don't mean go and have the sex kind of love.
Love is even not understood. What is love? Love is not you being turned on. That is animalistic heat, as I call it. Love is seeing the good and the divine in yourself. in the other person. I love you means I see the good that you represent. I want us to be in relationship means I want to help you grow your garden of Eden. I want to help you grow the good values I've seen in you. And you want to help me grow the qualities of God you've seen in me. That's what relationship is about. That's what love is about. What we are having is not love. It's animalistic heat. And once we teach and people get to know that you are animal driven, I ask people, in what way do you have sex different from the animals? You moan, they moan. You kiss, they kiss.
But they can do it anywhere, anyhow.
Right?
Conscience is what is
You control yours.
Yes.
But are we controlling ours on Valentine?
No.
So Valentine is like a signature for free sex, and that is totally wrong, right? And the story of Valentine, Saint Valentine, does not give you the picture of free libertine sex. No.
Well,
so what we need is to invite the whole world to study conscious sex and love making. And once people know that, let me put it this way: anytime you have sex, you are creating a demon or an angel. Sex can create a human being. The power that can create a human being can create any other thing. So sex is something we must revere, respect. It must not be a plaything for just everybody.
When you say you're creating a demon,
you're creating a demon, or
is it when a child comes out?
No.
Or
the act of sex is generating energy.
Yeah.
So if, for example, you were to enter into sexual congress with anger, hate, fear, jealousy, you are transmitting the creative energy into anger, hate, fear, and jealousy.
But how could anybody have sex, angry?
It happens.
So
people go raping somebody. With what intention is that done?
Okay.
And sometimes it's like, I'm jealous because of what you did with this guy, so it's like I'm paying you off.
Yes.
Do you understand? It goes with all of that. So you're creating, and if it doesn't carry the energy of goodness, the energy of pure love, as I've explained, the energy of the divine, then if it's not divine, then it is devilish. It is, you are creating a demonic energy, and when it starts interfering with your business, your thinking, and your success, you blame witches. You are the witches and wizards for yourselves.
You asked earlier on the church handling sex and love making. If we, the churches, would understand that sex or even love is knowing or seeing the good in yourself and in others, right? And then on such a day like Valentine's Day, you're looking at seeing the good in your friend, in your partner, and helping promote that. And your partner also sees that in you. And it's all about helping ourselves evolve to become better. We will save ourselves of the shortages of condoms in the shop, as you said. We will have a nation where people are being promoted, sponsored, motivated to come up with their best. And what shall we make out of this? So the hyping of Valentine's Day associated with sex, it's not very healthy for a nation, right? Nation building. But then from our perspective, seeing the good and the divine in yourself and in all of life, if we have this, we'll have a beautiful promotional and growth environment, which is beneficial.
So it can be a program like, on Valentine's Day, I will acknowledge the good you are. So I send you a card telling you the good I see in you and the evidences of the good. You are a kind person, as and when you did this, as and when you did that, as and when you did that, and you are a generous person, you are an intelligent person, you are a counseling person. You celebrate one another. I'm celebrating the values you are. If that will be Valentine, then Saint Valentine is on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, we are actually abusing Saint Valentine by just having free sex. It must be a time we celebrate the values we see in one another.
Somebody's asking, please, can one make love to more than one person?
If you understand love as we have defined it, then you can make love to 1,000 people. Because love making has nothing to do with even sexual congress, as I shared. Love making means I'm celebrating the values of God I see in you.
Okay, I don't think that's what he means.
All right, I know what the
question.
person means. Right, the person is meaning whether you can go and have sex with thousands of people. Well, if you want to actually honor the animal in you, the choice is yours. Whether you want to honor the animal, you're either honoring the dog in you or the God in you. You see, D-O-G or reverse G-O-D. The choice is yours. Dog or dog.
All right, let's talk about the program that's coming up. Just tomorrow, Saturday.
Yes. Tomorrow, Saturday, starting from 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and adults only. So you must be above 18. There's registration, so come before 6 so that you are registered to enter in. Though it is free to participate. And we're having a psychologist, her name?
Dr. Epifania Emefabonsi.
Right. And we have and then we have a urologist from Kolebu.
Dr. Bernard Tobo.
Yes. Urologists deal with the sex organs and so on. So he'll be talking more about some diseases, some challenges we have, some problems that people have with their sexuality that needs medical attention and what you can do to even avoid them in the first place. Then I'll be coming in. Bonzi will also be speaking about communication.
Effective
communication. Yes, communication in
relationships.
So you know how to handle it. And I'll be talking also, I'll give a summary as well as talk about love making and show the art and science of love making so you can generate energy of love to create anything you desire in life. When love speaks, the world hears. When love speaks, angels hear. And when Jesus said, when two or more shall agree in my name. In my name means when you agree in love. In other words, I must identify what love value you represent, what love value I represent, and then we can agree on something. So we'll be talking about the art of love making. So you can generate energy to create anything you desire in life. Love that's only good.
Sure. Let me read some more messages. Hi, I'm Grace from Vakpo. Good morning. Mama V, I like your show. Thank you. God bless you and God bless you too. I know now that love making is not all about sex. Thanks. All right. It's important we're picking good things out of this conversation. How does your partner understand you when you're tired? How does your partner understand you when you're tired? That's a question that's coming through.
Obviously, if you're with somebody, you should have known the signs and symptoms when the person exhibits tiredness, and therefore you should know before, and it's all a matter of communication. So you tell your partner, you want to approach your partner, you want to indulge in love or you want to indulge in sex, right? And your partner tells you, I am tired. Like Brother Ishmael earlier on said, even if you're tired, love making can help you ease the tiredness, because love making is nothing rigid. Come to the program tomorrow, you will be shown how
so the
to
question
make
should be,
love.
what should your partner do when you are tired?
When you're tired,
He can massage your inside.
But you see, Brother Ishmael, you can't because usually you don't want to say it. You don't want to say it. You want the person to do it.
Yes.
Figure out a way. Do something.
This is where if the two people understand what we call your GPS, who you are, your gender persona, and your senses, then the person will know, oh, my wife is a hearing person. Oh, my wife is a touch person. A
smell person.
So this is what I should do. And the moment you do it, all of the fatigue just vanishes.
It dwindles down.
There are things to do, and we're going to teach it tomorrow.
I think all the men should be there to learn.
They should get the book Essential Life Education. It's the key to harmonious relationship. It's the tool. Knowing the information in there makes your relationships like
It's interesting that book is so popular in the US, in Malawi, but not in Ghana. And the book was developed by me and my Etherian mission
here in Ghana. Yeah, please don't be surprised, don't be shocked. This is Ghana. This one says, is it advisable to have sex once in a month, or how will you know that your lady is enjoying your love making? Jacob Bote or Dentison in Nungwa is asking.
You see, many people believe sex can be enjoyed by just entering into a woman, but it must be enjoyed first by you knowing whether your woman is sight person, smell person, taste, touch person, then it starts from there. Because you can be just be animalistic about it, but maybe if she's a hearing person, what you are saying is what will make her enjoy. If she's a touch person, then you must ask yourself, which parts of her body, his body, is he responsive to? If he or she is a smell person, what perfume must I put on? What must I spray in the room before it starts? You see, people don't know all these. All we know is that the animal is on the heat, so satisfy the animal. That is no sex.
This one says, I like your program and it's really educative. Thank you and your panel members for today. This is from Belshazzar at Winneba. Thank you for the message. Okay, this one says, good morning. Please, I want to know the number of rounds you make with your partner in order to make her enjoy sex. Sex you have together. At times you'll be struggling to get the erection. Okay, you're asking a lot of questions that cannot be answered here. You have to be at the seminar, and then you could get it because it's adults only. I think almost all the messages probably.
This person can post it also on our Facebook. We can answer the person from our Facebook.
Okay, so what's the page?
Ishmael Tete or Etherian Mission.
Okay.
Yes.
This one says, how do you keep your marriage going when you and your partner are staying far apart because of work? Anthony from Jirapa is asking.
Wonderful. He can practice love making, because love making does not necessarily need even contact.
The two people, yeah.
Are you saying like do it on Skype or do it?
Not on.
Take pictures or something.
And love making can be experienced, by the way, from what you say. Tomorrow we should share with you the techniques of connecting with each other's soul. You know, love is God. Love making, therefore, is God making. So in what way is your relationship making God or revealing, unfolding God?
Okay.
If not, then it's just animalistic living. So when you discover, then it doesn't matter what the distance. It can be just once a week, every day. If you can even call your partner, you can make love with him or her, if you know how. And you have to know then the senses that your partner uses, so you know how to enter into your partner. We don't enter into your partner just through the penetration, but through the sense that your partner communicates or receives communication with.
Okay. This one says, Mavi, people sleep with two guys and after sex fall in love with one and love the other because of the way he had. What can she do about this? Okay, not sure. You're asking, you sleep with two different people and then you think you're in love with the other person. Is that it?
Maybe had a relationship with two people and eventually chose one person to be with because that person really fulfills. It's possible that that other person was able to identify the very key natures of her, and he communicates directly through that.
Is that a good way of choosing a partner?
No.
It's not a way of choosing a partner.
Okay.
So, but it's one of the ways the person has been able to identify the dominant senses of the person, has been able to also identify the purpose for which this lady is, and is in a way supporting her become better in that way. Okay.
It's also possible that this person just has realized that, oh, this man satisfies me better. So I'm just going there sexually. But your life is not just to be satisfied sexually. You are a whole spiritual being operating through mind, feeling, and body. You will reach a point where you will realize that your body is being satisfied, but your mind is hungry. Your mind is satisfied, but your feelings are hungry. Your feelings.
Can you satisfy all the senses?
You have satisfied the senses and the inner senses. We have inner senses. That's where intuition comes in. You have, your imagination. Through your imagination alone, you can see, smell, taste, touch, though you are not even seeing the thing. So we have inner senses. And in our teaching, we help you discover the inner senses and know how to use the inner senses to satisfy the inner man, the inner mind, the inner feeling. So if you don't know this, you will just go for just one package. Oh, he's good in bed. She's good in bed. And now you realize, I'm emotionally in vacuum.
Hungry.
I'm mentally hungry. I'm financially hungry. I'm socially hungry. And then all of the other regions have not been considered. Everybody has 5 regions of expression. You are a spiritual being because you want to relate with God, with the spirit or the ultimate reality. You are a social being, you want to relate with people.
Yeah.
Then you are a psychological being, deals with your thinking and feeling. Then you are a physical being, dealing with your health and beauty. Then you are a financial being, dealing with the quality service and money.
Yeah.
If these 5 regions are not satisfied in relationship, there will be a problem.
Okay.
So we have 5 regions, we have 5 fingers. When you stand and stretch your palms and legs, we have 5 pointed star. You see, God gives us all of these signs for us to know what we are.
Okay. I think the rest of the questions will probably have to be forwarded to you, or they have to be answered via Facebook, or they have to come for the program. This final one, because I want you to also sing your favorite love songs to me. Me and me only. In the absence of Roland Walker, we'll do it all by ourselves just before talk. Mama V, is it true that women need more sex than men? From Franklin in Keta.
It varies.
Okay. All right. So I said I was going to ask about the Etherian mission. So maybe quickly on that. How different are you? I mean, what kind of church is this?
Oh, we call ourselves the Church for Spiritual Empowerment. We are very big on Jesus, but not popular churchianism. You know, Jesus came with 3 major objectives, and we find out that the world is missing out on Jesus. Jesus' objective 1 is to teach of God's kingdom within each one of us. His ministry started by saying the kingdom of God is at hand. He taught you by saying that seek first the kingdom. In Matthew 13, he gives 8 parables on what the kingdom is like. And when he was asked, where is the kingdom? He taught that the kingdom is within. The question I ask, is the church teaching you the kingdom is within and showing you how to activate the kingdom of love, peace, joy, wisdom, and power from within you? If not, it's missed out. And even the first request in the first prayer that Jesus taught, the Lord's Prayer, was thy kingdom come. Again, Jesus' mission number 2 is oneness of life. And he said, not those who say Lord, Lord, but those who do the will of God. When they asked him the will of God, he espoused oneness as the will of God. Are we loving all people irrespective of their race, creed, or culture? Darling, we have different shapes of noses, but we are all breathing the same air. So there is only one life. There's only one God, one presence. So in the Etherian mission, we honor all paths that leads to God awareness. That is totally different from church saying, this is the only way. You see, the biggest lie causing the biggest problem to humanity is the biggest religious fallacy of an only way to God. When Jesus said that I'm the way, the truth, and the life, people take it just literally. What of Jesus is the way? Jesus had told us in John 5:30 that I can of my own self do nothing, but of the Father within me. And he's taught you the Father is within you. Is the Father in the Muslim, in the Hindu, in the Buddhist, in the African traditionalist? If yes, and we are very big also in doing Jesus, because Jesus honored his culture. And we as Africans must honor our culture. We are not. That's why we are failing as Africans.
So this is how the Etherian mission is different from...
That's where we are different.
Okay, so you go to church on Sundays?
Yes, Sunday 8:30 to 12:30. We have meditation service. Then we have metaphysics, that is spiritual understanding of scripture and of life. We don't read Bible literally. We read Bible and we go to the spiritual understanding and the application. Wow.
So do you have branches?
Yes, we have branches in Malawi, we have branches in Ghana, we have branches in Takoradi, in Tema, we have branch in UK, we have branch in US. Our US branch goes under the name Conscious Humanity.
Okay, but in Ghana is the Etherian
mission. The church. The word Etherian, by the way, means heaven. From the English word ethereal. So Etherian mission means heavenly mission. Etherian mission.
Heavenly mission.
Transforming lives.
Growing vision.
Growing visions.
And
all right, thank you, Brother Ishmael.
One other thing is that Etherian mission, our key is to help empower people. That's our key thing. We help empower people. Most of the churches are looking at one key person being there, and everybody is looking up to that person to give them all the power, all the solutions to their problem. But in Etherian mission, we empower you to become the solution center yourself. So we have keys, we have programs, we have workshops that help you to activate your innate potentials, to activate the kingdom that is within you, within everybody, such that God is activated and you become powerful as
Can you feel the love of God?
I can certainly feel it. It's refreshing talking to you.
By the way, she's Josephine Tete, but she's not my wife.
I didn't want to say anything, even though I know.
She's also a Mrs. Tete.
You did, yeah. But thank you.
I'm cool.
You're cool. I'm so grateful for your time. So I guess when people get onto your Facebook page, either Ishmael Tete or the Etherean Mission, they can get details of.
They can. Yes.
Okay, but where's the venue?
It's Sakaman, south of Odoko.
Okay.
You know, if you're from Odoko Trotro Station going towards Winneba or Mamalam, the first traffic light, you take left, going towards Dansoman. From that traffic light, it's just about 5 minutes walk. It's on the right. Big temple with our big hospital going on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you for being here and for sharing, really.
So are you coming?
Yes.
Please come with your partners.
I'm talking to Abla. Yes, Abla says yes, so we're coming.
Yes.
We're coming, definitely. And it's free, so you don't have to pay. Abla, please give me 5 minutes. We want to do our Valentine singing right after this. Stay with us here on the AM show. We're sharing love. This is not the evil thing that you don't have to do this Valentine. We're singing, and it's love. Stay with us.